Oh, naturally, with the costing platform coming out as it did yesterday, the natural comparison was Justin Trudeau to 2015 and Mark Carney 2025. And what was Justin Trudeau's promise? Well, we're going to run a reasonable deficit for 3 years, and then we'll balance the budget in the fourth year. That was the goal. It'll be $10 billion a year, just a $35 billion deficit. It'll be all good, no questions asked. We'll be okay. That was the promise. And then Mark Carney, 2025 costing platform, we're going to run a deficit for 3-4 years, and then we'll balance the budget afterwards. Heard this before. Again, they keep telling us he's not like Justin, but he's running on the exact same platform that Justin did in 2015. Rather odd. However, let's look back at Justin's promise back in 2015, shall we? It's fun. We'll do some fun stuff together. 2015, he receives a balanced budget. 2016, 2017, he promises $10 billion. The second year, $10 billion. And the third year, $5 to $6 billion. For a total of $26 billion in deficit spending. And then promises by 2019, 2020, we will have a balanced budget. Then what actually happened here in the right-hand column? Well, they ran a $19 billion deficit, $19 billion deficit in the second year, a $14 billion deficit in the third year, for a total of close to $40 billion deficit. And that was before COVID. That was what you got. That's what Justin Trudeau did. And he promised, oh, we'll turn to a balanced budget. Well, we never got that balanced budget. And in fact, things only got worse, obviously, as the decisions they made during COVID to continue the inflationary spending. That is what we got. And so Mark Carney coming out in somewhat similar fashion with his costed platform, with $130 billion in new spending with no timeline to balance the budget. Oh, baby. Mark Carney-led government will spend $130 billion on new measures over the next 4 years with no timeline to balance the federal budget, according to the costed Liberal platform released on Saturday. Carney said at a Saturday morning announcement in Whitby, Ontario, that keeping the spending tabs open was part of the standing up to U.S. President Donald Trump. The Liberal Party always needs a crisis in order to spend more of your money and drive down the value of your dollar and drive up the cost of prices. This is how they operate. This is the Liberal Party of Canada, folks.
Bloomberg reports that Mr. Carney has even gone beyond Justin Trudeau, abandoning even the weak fiscal guideposts. And Bloomberg is now predicting worsening fiscal position if the Liberals are reelected to a fourth term. One Carney-friendly economist on Twitter said that this Liberal platform is a, quote, spendorama with even bigger deficits than Freeland's that just go on forever. And he said, I was hoping, and I'm quoting here, I was hoping, this is from a Liberal commentator, I was hoping Carney would pull the Liberals back to the center with a focus on fiscal discipline. It's not to be. That's a fancy way of saying that Mark Carney's Liberals are even more costly than Justin Trudeau's Liberals. And they're all the same Liberals, the same Liberal ministers, same Liberal advisors, same Liberal promises, same costly Liberal failures.
Almost $130 billion in new spending.
$130 billion in new spending.
With the Liberal plan, which calls for $130 billion in new spending.
And it features big spending, but no timeline to fully balance the budget.
It certainly is a spend platform.
The cost of all the new measures the Liberals are proposing add up to $130 billion over
the price tag, $130 billion in new spending over 4 years, and an increased deficit up to $62.3 billion this fiscal year.
Well, at almost $130 billion in new spending.
And would see the country run deeper deficits for the next 4 years.
Well, there are nothing but deficits in the 4-year forecast the Liberals have presented.
There's no plan to balance the overall budget.
The deficits in some ways get worse rather than better, and they're already pretty serious.
They're offering voters a lot of goodies based on borrowed money.
That the deficit spending is getting bigger, which frankly runs counter to some of Mark Carney's narrative about being a strong economic manager.
It's an awfully Liberal platform. It looks like they did a search and replace, took out every reference to a Justin Trudeau government, put in a Mark Carney government.
But a lot of what we've heard in terms of how we pay for all these promises, all this spending, are things that we've heard before from Chrystia Freeland.
It did seem incredibly similar to the ideals that we've heard for the past decade, but not a lot of action on them.